At Tennis Zone, we're giving away a tennis racket worth up to $120 of your choice to thank you for the support you've been giving us on our videos. To participate, you just need to subscribe and comment on the video. The winner will be announced on October 25th. Good luck to everyone, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the video. Carlos Alcaraz confirms suspicions with Sinner. The Spanish tennis player and the Italian have not hesitated to exchange messages after their recent final at the Six Kings Slam. The rivalry between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner threatens to become legendary. Time will tell if it will become a new Nadal-Federer, but for now, it has already resulted in 10 confrontations on the circuit, including a final, such as the one in Beijing a few weeks ago, or the recent final at the Six Kings Slam, although that one won't count in official statistics. There was even another duel when they were starting out, on the ATP Challenger circuit, which isn't included by that organization either. Alcaraz was quicker to burst onto the scene, but Jannik Sinner has been steadily improving over the past year, finishing by dominating the circuit. Only Alcaraz's brilliance, having beaten him in their 3 official matches of 2024, has prevented the Italian's dominance from being overwhelming. But with every match, Sinner puts up more resistance, and as he has acknowledged, his improvement has a lot to do with Alcaraz's level. I wake up in the morning trying to figure out how to beat him. This kind of rivalry pushes us to the limit and beyond 100%, said the Italian right after beating the Spaniard in Riyadh. The reason we came here was to show everyone what tennis means. Sometimes it can be a long battle like today's, but we give our best effort. I hope the audience had fun, said the player from San Candido. Carlos Alcaraz makes it clear what Sinner represents. His view of this rivalry aligns with Carlos Alcaraz, who appears to have slowed down in his evolution due to his early rise, but he hasn't stopped growing in a complicated year where he faced several injuries. All our matches are very tough. They are always 2 very hard sets or 3 to 5 sets. They are always very tight matches. He pushes me to the limit, and I know I have to bring my best tennis if I want to beat him. As a player, I love these kinds of battles, but sometimes I prefer it to be easier. He makes me a better player, stated the Spaniard. Interestingly, both get along very well and haven't hesitated to share training sessions and preseason matches, like the one they played last year in Vienna. After finishing the Beijing final, they even flew on the same private plane to Shanghai. And they have always exchanged kind words and praise for each other. I hope this rivalry improves over the years. I want to say that I'm very grateful to have him in the circuit. Thanks to him, I push myself to my limits to improve, giving my 100% every day. It's always a pleasure to share the court with him, although sometimes it's hard to enjoy it, acknowledged Carlos Alcaraz. Jannik Sinner holds a similar opinion and hopes that nothing changes, even though their rivalry could grow in the coming years. Carlos and I understand each other. We travel a lot and are good friends. We enjoy sharing the court every time we face off and try to have as much fun as possible. Every match between us is of great quality. I hope this rivalry lasts as long as possible, but there are many other players who can step up. We'll see what happens in the future, said the Italian. Shapovalov on Sinner's case, they should have warned after the first positive test. The Canadian is merciless about the world number 1 situation. Now they are torturing Sinner, and he has to play under these circumstances. Denis Shapovalov was one of the first players to share his opinion on social media after the first news about Jannik Sinner's doping case emerged. A few weeks later, the Canadian tennis player remains critical of the relevant organizations, beyond the Italian player. Denis also discusses his lack of consistency and his recent incident in Washington. The Jannik Sinner doping case. Some players have contaminated substances and are banned for years, while others don't face the same consequences. WADA should have intervened immediately. They should have warned after the first positive test as WADA. Why are they stepping in now? Now Sinner is being tortured and has to play under these circumstances. If the decision makers determine that he was clean, that should be reflected in WADA's guidelines. WADA shouldn't be able to say months later, no, now we want to overturn it, if they already had the information. It's just not clear for the players, Shapovalov explained in an interview with Tennis Majors. Lack of consistency due to physical problems. The knee is fine now, but I'm still trying to get back to my peak level. Physically, the knee injury takes time, especially after the previous season. While I was recovering, I couldn't be at 100%, and even at the beginning of this season, I wasn't able to reach 100%, Denis confesses about the issue that arose during Wimbledon 2023. The former world number 10 is currently ranked 95th in the ATP rankings. I'm definitely at a different stage in my career. I've been through a lot, a big rise, a small fall, a serious injury. I'm getting more experienced. I think my tennis is still there, but I'm struggling a bit physically to maintain my peak level day after day. That's why I've had results where I beat top players, but the next day, I didn't play well and felt tired. On his incident in Washington, one of the most recent episodes involving Shapovalov was his disqualification for arguing with a fan in the stands, with the chair umpire making the final decision because the Canadian used inappropriate language. I'm not happy with the decision. For me, it was a mistake. It happened at an important moment in my season, as I was finally playing well, had good momentum, and then this incident occurred, which ended my run. In Montreal, I was much more focused and couldn't perform my best, which showed at the US Open. It stuck in my mind. I was very upset, although they returned the 100 points. I lost all the prize money. After the fine and taxes, I was sent a check for $154. It felt like an insult to me. The ATP didn't admit that it was wrong. There are players who have done far worse things than I did and didn't receive such severe punishment. I was unlucky, and I'm still upset that they didn't admit their mistake. At that moment, I didn't want to play tennis, but after the Davis Cup, things got better. The huge payday Alcaraz-Sinner received at the Six Kings Slam, half of what he earned in the entire year. Alcaraz-Sinner has won 2 Grand Slams, 3 Masters 1000s, and 2 ATP 500s, as well as reaching far in other major tournaments. Well, winning the exhibition Six Kings Slam earned him half the money he had accumulated throughout the season. What happens in Saudi Arabia is on another level. By winning, he earned £4.6 million. He defeated the Spanish player Carlos Alcaraz, world number 2, by 6-7, 6-3, 6-3. Interestingly, the £4.6 million Sinner won in Riyadh after triumphing at the Six Kings Slam is half of what he earned in the whole year, where he won 7 titles, including 2 Grand Slams. After defeating Alcaraz in the final, Sinner spoke highly of his rival, saying that he makes him a better player. In his opinion, the 4-time Grand Slam winner pushes him to improve and believes that this kind of rivalry is always good for the sport, where 2 players compete in every tournament to claim the top prize. We try to push ourselves to the limit, he said. I wake up in the morning trying to figure out how to beat him. These kinds of rivalries and players always push us to the limit. Today I'm very happy. We understand each other very well. We travel a lot, and I'd say we're good friends. We also enjoy sharing the court every time we step out there, and we try to have fun. So far, all the matches have been of very high quality. Let's hope this rivalry lasts as long as possible, but there are many other great players who can step in, which is very exciting. Let's see what the future holds, no one knows.